Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today, we are reading from True Off My Chest. Our first post is by Deleted. My ex wants me back. I am so angry I need to vent. 3 months ago, my ex-girlfriend accused me of cheating with her best friend. In reality, I was planning to propose to her, and her best friend was helping. The plan was to celebrate her birthday and propose after a fancy dinner. The thing is, I have no experience in fancy restaurants, but she and her best friend have, so I didn't want to look like an idiot during dinner, so I asked her best friend to help me with that. We went to have dinner at the fancy restaurant. I messed up a lot, but I learned a lot. Reason we haven't gone to any in our 2 years of relationship is because of money. Just a month before our breakup, I was able to afford it. Her other friend saw us at the restaurant and told my GF. She made a whole deal out of it, calling me cheater in her socials, and every time I tried to explain, she just screamed at me. The cherry on top, her best friend is married, so this caused trouble everywhere, but her husband knew about it. He was actually supposed to be there but got caught in traffic because of a car crash after work, so he arrived just when we were leaving. We three tried to explain, but me and best friend's husband got shut down. Best friend managed to talk but got basically the same answer. She was a home wrecker and now she is apologizing. The story the friend told her is beyond what we thought. The story was that me and her now ex-best friend were at a fancy restaurant, we kissed, that I grabbed her ex-beef's butt before leaving together in my car. What? During one night out, after heavy drinking, her friend let out she was happy that I was out of the picture, followed by a confession that she was glad her exaggeration broke us up. I don't care about her at all. She can burn in hell for all I care. Her screaming at social media almost costed me my job, and I have been explaining it to my family since then. She dragged my name through the mud. She can go F herself. Our next post is by Allah Don't Like You. I overheard the way my family talks about me and use it to motivate myself. It's exactly what the title sounds like. I'd like to clarify that I'm a 16F currently in high school. Well, for some background context, my family has never really loved me. My older brother has always been favored, so for my entire life, I've been trying to be loved by them. I've joined so many sports, gotten scholarship offers as early as freshman year, etc., but they never seem to be happy for me. Recently, I've given up entirely on it. I realized it was dumb to try to be somebody I wasn't, just so my mom could say I love you to me. Well, I joined cross country this summer. I've been going to conditioning and making so many friends. I love my coaches and teammates, and it's been a great experience for me. In just 1 month, I went from not being able to run 1/2 a mile to running 10-minute miles in a 5K. It's going great, and for once, I'm finally doing something for myself rather than for approval. After practice last Wednesday, I get home and I'm walking upstairs. I stop to tie my shoes, and I'm assuming my grandparents think that I'm in my room because I can hear them whisper. She's not going to make the team. She tries way too hard, and I don't even think her teammates like her. I'm so disappointed. This is what she's become. My heart shattered, not at the fact that they were disappointed or thought nobody on my team liked me. It was the fact they said I wasn't going to make it. I had heard my family talk bad about me before, but never doubt my future. This was a new low, and it stung. Since then, when I'm losing my ability while running, such as getting too hot, legs are sore, I am cramping, or I am dizzy, I replay the thought in my mind and keep going. I've worked myself to exhaustion trying to be something they want, but now I'm set to become something they'll never get the chance to be. My heart shattered, not at the fact that they were disappointed or thought nobody on my team liked me. It was the fact they said I wasn't going to make it. I had heard my family talk bad about me before, but never doubt my future. This was a new low, and it stung. Since then, when I'm losing my ability while running, such as getting too hot, legs are sore, I am cramping, or I am dizzy, I replay the thought in my mind and keep going. I've worked myself to exhaustion trying to be something they want, but now I'm set to become something they'll never get the chance to be. Our next post is by Curious Foe. He wanted an open relationship, but now he regrets it. Posting on Maine because, well, whatever. I deleted anything that could identify me. I'm sorry if this is long, but it's the only way I can explain the entirety of my feelings. Also, sorry for bad English. Spanish is my mother tongue. My 21M boyfriend, 22M, and I have been dating for around 3 years. High school sweethearts. We were always so head over heels for each other, and I felt like I could fully trust him with my deepest, darkest secrets and pains, as well as he could trust me. We wanted to build a life together and constantly talked about even having kids. September of last year was when I think my heart broke completely. He had told me he would go out with some friends and drink a bit on a Thursday, and one tradition we have in our relationship is to always say goodnight to each other. He didn't answer the phone that night, even after arriving. He dodged me all he could on Friday, until he finally texted me more on Saturday. Then, out of nowhere, he asked if we could open the relationship slightly. I was so very shocked, and I asked for time to process the whole idea before giving him an answer. That whole day was very rough on me, mostly because I wasn't against the idea, but I was not sure I could stand the thought of him being with someone else, and I was severely against the idea of being with someone else myself. End of the day, I told him I still needed some time to think about it since I wasn't emotionally ready. My family was destroyed because of my cheating father. How ironic would it be for me to be in an open relationship? And that's when he confessed to making out with a boy that Thursday. He lied about going out with friends, it was just the two of them. Later on, when I asked him details, he said that if it would have came up, they would have slept together. I couldn't help but cry, and he said that for all purposes, he would have cheated given the chance, and that he regretted it so much. He confessed to asking to open the relationship just to not feel guilty about what he did. I felt so much rage that I asked him for some time apart, and then he guilt-tripped me into staying together. I stupidly agreed, but for the rest of the year our passionate touching life basically died, and we just resorted to oral or touching. It still is that way today. And it wasn't no passionate touching because of punishment, it was no passionate touching because I didn't feel that spark anymore. We eventually started patching things up, until last month roughly. He had to speak to me, said it was important. He avoided the issue though, and I just waited. He's had a rough past, so I assumed something happened, and I was prepared to comfort him if needed. He told me he didn't know if he loved me anymore, and he didn't know if he was just using me. He said he wasn't attracted to me anymore. After the obvious sad conversation, which I do want to mention was not an argument, we eventually stayed quiet. I just tried to understand his feelings, and I even asked him bluntly, "Do you even love me?" His response, just like all of the others during the whole conversation, was, "Don't know." Then he asked me again to open the relationship on the spot. I stupidly agreed again, and he started placing all these weird and absurd rules. You can only go out with guys if they come on to you first. No romantic dates, no penetrative, passionate touching. My therapist later pointed out how controlling this was. The next day, coincidentally, I had a therapy session. I of course spoke about what happened, and came to the realization I needed to put an ultimatum on him and demand respect in my own relationship. I'm not the best boyfriend, but damn do I try to be. He knew I was going to blow up since the whole day he texted me, in a panic, asking about what I talked about in therapy. He pestered me so much that I told him everything I could come up with, all of my repressed hurt and anger, and he ended up promising to change, only to dump me the next day, in the morning, since he couldn't give me what I wanted. He then begged to come back the same day, but I didn't accept. We broke up for a month, with the idea of healing ourselves to see if we could get back together. We are currently together, and I was the one who asked him to try again, but with one condition. Our relationship is fully open. Full communication, full transparency, but no controlling rules. In this time we were apart, this brief month, I discovered that I could very well be polyamorous but repressing it because of my family trauma, thanks to my therapist. I don't plan on just jumping into that world, but I do plan on avoiding getting hurt again because of his desires. After all, he wanted this, right? He was against it. I even told him that we could have a month to talk it through, but he insisted that it was just a phase for him. A phase. 3 years down the drain for a phase. He got so fed up that he just accepted right away. And now I can feel how much he hurts with the idea of me looking for someone else or being with someone else. I even mentioned a small crush I have on a boy from college, and although he heard me out, he's been distant the whole week. The thing is, I haven't even done anything. I'm not big on casual, passionate touching, and I really only am interested in that boy at the moment. But I don't plan on asking to close the relationship, and I know he wishes we could close again, but I just can't feel safe with him anymore, and although I love him, I can't help but doubt if I will be happy with him, if he will hurt me again, if any of this is worth it. All I know is that he wanted this so much, and now he's regretting every second of this. Am I cruel? I don't know, but I just can't get hurt again. Thank you all for reading. Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.